Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to master some of the most powerful Git recovery and history management commands like Git reset, Git revert, Git restore, Git stash, and Git reflog. So basically, these are the use cases which will come whenever you accidentally deleted a file, committed something by mistake, or you wish you could go back to the previous state in Git. So basically in this video you will also be learning about how to undo commits safely, how to revert changes without losing the history, how to restore files and directories, how to temporarily save your work using stash, and finally how to recover the lost commits using reflog like a Git superhero. Basically, we will also be covering some of the hands-on commands which you can use in your day-to-day activities and so on. So let's get started. So as I said, we will be first learning about Git Restore. So what actually is Git Restore? In short, it is nothing but discard file changes safely. See, for example, there is a scenario where you have committed the file and you want to discard the changes. So in that case, what you can do is you can just use the Git Restore command to discard the file changes safely. So it is nothing but going back to the previous versions. Okay. Now Git reset. So Git reset is nothing but it is like in your local system. So if you want to move back to the previous state, so it is similar to revert. So basically there are three types of resets. One is the soft reset, one is the mixed reset, and the hard reset. So all these things we will try to understand in the coming slides. Okay. So basically Git revert. So Git revert and Git reset both works the same way. The only difference is that normally this Git reset we is recommended to do it in your local repository, whereas Git revert is done in the shared repository where multiple developers are working on it. Then we will look at stash, Git stash. So if you want to save the work for the latest things, like for example, if you want to save some uncommitted changes, so in that case you can do Git stash. So what is the use of this Git stash? We will come to know in the coming slides. Then we have Git Reflog, which is nothing but it has all the commits, including the deleted commits, everything, which will be there for 90 days. So you can use the Git Reflog to, check the history and restore whatever commit you want to restore. Okay. Then we will also be learning about how to recover. See, for example, there are some commits that are lost. So we should not get panicked. So there is a way to restore those commits. So it means it will bring those commits back. So now let us try to first understand Git restore, how it works. So basically what actually Git restore does is that it undoes the changes in your files in your working directory or staging area. So basically it is one of the modern way and it is safe and it will be easy for anyone to understand. So first let us try to understand how it works. So you just need to run git space restore space file name. So for example, if you want to change anything, like for example, you have added this file in your last commit, okay, last but one commit or the last commit, let's say. For example, if you want to restore, what you can do, you can just do git space restore space that file name. So what it does, if that file is either deleted or something, if it is there in the commit history, then in that case it will be restored. Then the next command is, for example, you have restored. So let me mark it. So basically you have staged a file. So staging a file in the sense, so in the earlier slides we have understood, right? Whenever you make changes, the first step before committing is you need to stage those changes. So in order to stage those changes, you will be running git space add space dot command. So after doing that, if you want to unstage those changes, so in that case, you can just use git restore hyphen hyphen stage and the file name, whatever you want to restore. Okay. Now the same thing. So this is for a single file. Okay. Similarly, if you want to restore all the files in the current working directory, in that case, you can just use dot. Okay. Instead of staged, then the file name, you can just use git space restore space dot. Okay. Now, so if you want to restore a specific commit, see, there are multiple combinations, guys. So here you are restoring a specific file based on the file name. Here you are restoring the staged changes to unstage it. Here you are restoring all the files in the working directory. Here you are restoring a file based on a specific commit. Okay, so git space restore space hyphen hyphen source equal to head and this tilde operator 2. So what it does, see, head is nothing but always the latest commit, whereas head tilde 2 is nothing but it goes backwards 2 commits. Okay, so that is the meaning of head tilde operator 2. Then file.js. So in file.js, you have made multiple modifications. So for example, there are 10 commits. So whenever you do this, it will move to the 8th commit. And so this file content will be whatever content you have added as a part of that 8th commit, that will be added to file.js. So this is how it works. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let us move to the next slide. So then we will be looking at git reset. So basically reset is nothing but it moves the head back, and the mode controls what happens to the staging and working directory. So when we staging, guys, so whenever you made some modifications, you will be adding to that staging, right? So that part we call it as staging area. And working directory is nothing but the directory which you have created to make your local changes. So that is nothing but the working directory. Okay, so now there are three types of reset commands. One is the soft reset, and the second one is the mixed reset, and the third one is the hard reset. Okay. So whenever you do soft reset, what it does is it keeps the changes staged. Okay. So the changes in the staging area will be there. Head will be moved back, whatever tilde after tilde operator, whatever number you specify. So that many commits, the head will move back, and the staging area is still kept, and the working directory is still kept. So this is nothing but the git reset command. Okay. So whenever you do a mixed commit, so mixed reset, sorry. So what it does, it keeps changes unstaged. Okay. So see, let us try to understand the difference, guys. So the difference between soft and mixed is that head moves back, it is the same, whereas the second point, staging area, is kept. So whatever changes you made to the staging area, that is still kept. In this case, whatever changes you made to the staging area, that will be cleared. So the changes will be unstaged. And the third point, whatever we have mentioned, working directory will be kept as it is. Okay. So this is how you will be running that command: git space reset space minus minus mixed, then head, and how many commits you want to go back. Okay. So this is all about mixed reset. Then we have the hard reset. As it says, it destroys everything. Okay. So you need to run this command only if you are sure. So what it does, head moves back, everything else will be lost. Working directory will be deleted, staging area will be cleared. Okay. So let us try to revise, guys. So there are three types of resets. One is the soft reset, one is the mixed reset, and the third one is the hard reset. Okay. So in the soft reset, head moves back, staging area will be still there, and working directory will still be there. Whereas in mixed reset, head will be moving back, staging area will be cleared. It means the changes will be unstaged. Whereas working directory will be kept as it is, local working directory. Whereas in hard reset, head moves back, staging area will be deleted, I mean it is cleared, and the working directory is lost. So this is the difference between soft reset, mixed reset, and the hard reset. Okay, see, as I said, hard reset you should be doing it with a caution. Git reset space hyphen hyphen hard is permanent. Use Git reflog if you ever need to recover. See, hard reset is nothing but it destroys everything. Now again you need to run this reflog command to get back to the commits. I mean to list down the commits and you can get back. So it is a tedious task, guys. Whenever you do git reset hard. So it is important to be caution whenever you are doing git reset hard. Okay. So yeah. Next, we will try to understand the differences between reset and revert. Both look similar in terms of English meaning. Both remains the same, but there will be some difference. Okay. See, let us try to understand. Both will undo the commits. See, when I say undo the commits, you have made some commits and you feel like that commit is wrong. If you want to go back to the previous commit, in that case, you will be undoing the commits. Whereas reset, what it does is it rewrites the history. Okay, we'll try to understand with this particular diagram. So now what revert does is revert creates a new commit that undoes the change. Okay, so let us try to understand how it works. See, for example, there are three commits A, B, C. As I said, head will always be the latest commit. Correct? Now, when I try to run a command called as git space reset space head tilde operator 2, what will happen is this B and C will be destroyed. It won't be there. These commits won't be there. Only A will be there. Okay. Now this will become head. Okay. See, after removing these two, what will become head? A will become head. Okay. One more important point to remember is you should use git reset on your local branches. The branches that are created in your laptop, you need to use git reset. Whereas on the other side, git revert, it is safe for the teams. See, whenever you are working on the remote repos and the shared branches, when I say shared branches, the branches that are used by multiple people, okay, with the same repo. See, let us take the same example. A, B, C. We have three commits. C is the head, which is the latest commit. After revert, what it does is it will create a new commit that actually does these changes. Okay, see, for example, git space revert space head tilde operator 2. What it does is it will remove these two. The history will still be there, guys, but it will create a new commit which doesn't have these two changes, these two commits. It will have only a commit. So now C complement. So we call this as complement, whereas C complement commit has the changes only from A. It doesn't have B and C. So this is revert. But at the end of the day, both does the same operations. But this should be used for the local branches. This should be used for the shared branches. Okay, it adds, it doesn't remove the existing history. That is why, see, always history is important, guys. See, if after reverting, if this is wrong, then again you need to remove this. So that's the reason revert is preferable whenever you are working with the shared branches. Okay, yeah. Now let us try to understand the workflow of Git Revert. Okay, how to do that? So basically, as I said in the earlier slide, it creates a new commit that reverses the previous one. Your history stays intact. History won't be deleted. Whereas the changes which you want to revert, that will be reverted by adding a new commit. Now, how to do that? See, you need to first find out the commit which you want to reset. See, for example, git space log space hyphen hyphen online. So there are three commits. Okay, one is A3, 9D, and E2. So these are the commit IDs. So there are three commits. Now, if you want to revert it. So for example, if you want to revert this particular thing. So if you want to remove this commit and if you want to add on, keep only these two commits. In that case, what you can do, git space revert space A3F1C2B. You can just add the commit ID. What it does is, see, this will be printed. Revert feed new buggy feature. Okay, so this will be reverted. Then if you want to revert a range of commits, in that case you can do git space revert space head tilde operator 3, then head. Okay, it will revert all the three commits. Okay. So now if you want to revert without auto commit, so if you want to review it, see, whenever you do this particular command, it doesn't create any review kind of thing. It will directly commit it. It will directly change it. Now if you want to review it first, okay, so what will be the changes? In that case, you can just do git space revert space minus minus no commit, then the commit id. No commit in the sense it will create a new terminal or a new window or new editor which shows you what are the commits that will be there, what are the commits that will be removed. So this is how you will be reverting by reviewing it first, then do the actual commit. Okay, so when to use? This is one important scenario. So you have understood all these commands, but it's not only to understand all these commands, but you should be able to apply wherever it is required. So anytime the commit is already pushed to the share branch, always preferred for the teamwork. So whenever you have to, when you have to use this revert command, whenever you have something that is already pushed to the remote branch, and if you want to revert those changes, in that case, you can use this revert command. Okay. Yeah. Then we have Git Stash. So which is nothing but you have made some changes and you have not committed it. So it is still uncommitted. So if you want to save it temporarily, where you can work it later, in that case you can use the Git Stash. So for example, if you see Git space stash, saved working directory and the index state. Okay, so if you want to save with a commit name, okay, you can do that by using git stash push hyphen m, then this particular commit id. Now if you want to see your stashes, in that case you can do git space stash space list. Okay, then if you want to restore most recent stash, see, for example, in this case you have already stashed, so it means you have added the uncommitted files and you have saved it, correct? So if you want to add it to back to the staging area, so what you can do, git space stash space pop. So what it does, it will restore the most recent hash whatever you have saved. So it will again come back to the staging area. Okay, so these are some of the stash command, guys, which is important. Git stash is nothing but it will save the changes. If you want to list all the list of stashes, in that case git space stash space list, then git space stash space pop. So what it does is it will add those stashes into your staging area and it will remove from the stash list. Okay, this is git stash pop. Then we have git stash apply. So what it does, it will restore and it will keep. Okay, so the saved history will be there and also this stash list also it will be displayed. Then git space stash space dropped. So if you want to delete one stash, what you can do is you can just run this command git space stash space drop. So whatever is there under stash list, one the most recent one will be deleted. Now if you want to delete all the stashes, so if you want to delete all the saved changes whatever you have made, so in that case you can do git space stash space clear. Okay, so what is the use case? In what cases you will be using this git stash? Whenever you need to switch the branches but not ready to commit. See, you have some changes in branch A. Okay, it is not committed, and if you want to switch to the branch B, so what it does normally before stashing, what it does, it won't allow you to switch the branches. Now in that case what you can do is you can save your work that you made in the branch A by using git stash, then you can switch to the branch B, you can make your required modifications in the branch B, then you can come back, you can always switch back to the branch A, then you can continue with your modifications. So this is how git stash works. Okay, so next we do have one of the important command, guys, git reflog. Reflog is nothing but it records every changes that you made to your head. Even the deleted commits here, it will be there for 90 days from the day you have committed. Okay, so this is how it looks. Git space reflog. See all the commits whatever you have made. You did some commit, you did some reset, you then again added two commits, then you checked out. Okay, so all these things. So how you can do that? See, for example, you can view all the history, right? From here you can get the commit ID. Okay, for whatever commit you want to reset. So git space reset space minus minus hard head at the rate 2. So head will be now at E2B 3B 3D 5F. So it is nothing but head 2. This is head 0. This is head 1. So it will come to here. Okay. Now whatever your local changes will be there, these two commits won't be there. From here it will be there. Okay. Now, if you want to create a branch from it, so what you can do, you can always create a branch with this particular command: git space branch space recovered head at the rate 2. So what it does, it will create a new branch that has commits from here to last. These two won't be there because you have added this command, this flag head at the rate 2. Okay. So as I said, so this is really important, guys. So I mean, normally in the most of the use cases, we will be, we'll be careful whenever you are doing. In the worst case scenario, if something is deleted, you should not get panic. You can always use Git Reflog command to get the commit ID. Then you can restore it. Okay. So then, like recovering lost commit step by step, how you can do it. See, for example, first thing is you should not get panic. Commits are rarely gone forever. It will be there always. Somewhere it will be there. Okay. Now you should not make more damage. So that is what this means. So whenever you lost something, just stay as it is. Then you need to, then the next step is you need to run this reflog command. Okay, what it does, it will show the last 90 days of the head movements, whatever changes you made to your head, including the delete commits, sorry, and the hashes. Then after running this reflog command, you can get the hash ID or the commit ID for which you want to restore. Then you can recover it. Either you can recover it by creating a new branch that points to that commit, or you can directly restore it in the same branch. Okay. Yeah. So how do you do this undo, stash, recover, all these things? So this is a hands-on technique, slide, guys. So you can always try this. So first what you can do is you can just create a new file called as readme.md. Then you can commit it. Then you can, if it is not committed, then you can restore it. So scenario 2 is if you want to unstage, see, in this case, you have to create a file. You need to stage the file to the staging area. Then you can restore it. Restore it. Okay. Now git stash to work to switch branches. So stashing to, as I told in the earlier slide, we can stash the changes and you can switch to the branch, right? This is how you can do. You can do git stash, whatever changes you have made, all the changes, it will be saved temporarily. Then you can switch to the other branch. Then you can make your modifications, whatever you want. Then you can switch back to the original branch, which is your current branch. Then you can do git stash power. So this is how you will be working with the stashing. Okay. Now, if you want to undo the last commit but keep the changes stage. So as I said, there are three types of reset mechanisms. So one is the soft reset, and the second one is the mixed reset, and the third one is the hard reset. It is always preferable to do the soft reset because you need to stage the changes as well as you need to keep the working directory as is. Okay. Then the last scenario is if you want to recover from a bad reset. So you have reset it and you want to recover it. So what you can do is you can always run the git reflog and git branch recovered and whatever you want to recover it. Okay. So this is head at the rate 2. So this is how you will be doing it for undo, stash and recover. So now let us try to summarize all the commands, guys, because this is important. Which undo command you should use in whatever situation. So for example, first scenario, first use case is I edited a file, want to discard the changes. So I want to discard the changes. I don't want to keep the changes. In that case, git space restore space file name. You can use this command. Now you have edited a file, you have staged a file, but you want to unstage it. In that case, you can do git space restore space minus minus stage and the file name. Now the third use case is I have committed but want to redo with more changes. So in that case, what you can do git space reset space minus minus soft head tilde operator 1. Okay. So now you have committed something bad, I mean something wrong, which you doesn't require. I mean, so maybe for testing or some other activity, you want to remove it permanently in local. So in that case, you can do a hard reset. Git space reset space minus minus hard head tilde operator 1. Okay. Now the next thing is I want to undo a commit that is already pushed. See, it is already pushed to the remote branch. I want to undo. In that case, see, when I say it is already pushed, it will point to the remote branch. Now, for remote branches, what you need to do? You need to use revert instead of reset. Okay, in that case, you can do revert space commit ID. How do you get the commit ID again? By git reflog command. Okay, you can get the commit ID. Then I need to switch the branches, but I have an uncommitted work. You have made some changes, you have not committed it, but you want to review the other branch. Okay, changes from the other branch. In that case, what you can do is you can just do git stash. It will change, it will save the changes, then you can always come back and forth. I just lost the commits. What should I do? You can just do git reflog to get the list of commit IDs, then you can restore it. Now I want to bring a deleted branch back. So in that case, what you can do, git space branch space name, then reflog hash. Whatever commit ID it is there, and it will create that branch. I mean, it will restore that branch with that commit ID. So this is how you will be doing the undo operations. Next, on a day-to-day activity, what are the various commands which you will be using? Okay, discard file edits, git restore file, unstage a file, git restore staged file, fix the last commit message. So you can do that by using git space commit space minus minus amend minus m new message. Then if you want to undo the last commit, in that case you can do git space reset space minus minus soft head tilde operator 1. Then if you want to undo last commit unstage, okay, you want to keep the work. In this case, you want to unstage it. In that case, you can do git space reset space minus minus mixed head tilde operator 1. Then if you want to undo a pushed commit, so pushed commit, when I say it will be pushed to the remote branch. If you want to revert it, you can always do it by using git space revert space commit ID. Now, if you want to save the work temporarily, then do git space stash space push space minus m, then the commit ID, whatever you want to do. Then if you want to recover the last commits, you can always do this particular command, git reflog. Okay. So this is how you will be using in your day-to-day activity. Then we will try to do a quick knowledge check, guys. So what is the difference between reset soft, reset mix, and reset hard? Again, soft keeps staging and working directory. Mixed only keeps the working directory. Hard destroys both. Okay, you can remember it by using these two parameters. Staging, working directory. Soft keeps both. Mixed keeps only working directory, whereas hard removes both. Okay. When should you use revert instead of reset? So reset is used for your local reverting, whereas revert will be used for your remote branches or the shared branches. Okay. Now git stash. Okay. So git stash, what it will do? It will temporarily save uncommitted changes when you need to switch the branches or pull the updates. Okay. Now, the last question is that how do you recover a commit deleted by reset hard? See, you did a reset hard. Now you want to recover that commit. So git reflog shows the last 90 days of the head moves. Find the hash, then do create a branch with that hash ID. In this way, you can recover whatever bad commit or reset which you did. Okay. So that's it for this video, guys. You can now undo anything. In the next module, we will be looking at how to do the collaboration between the multiple developers, like pull request, code review, git flow, trunk based, forks, all these concepts, some advanced concepts. Okay. So if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.